What is required from young minds is like you is to be creative, inquisitive, and to create. The institutions are trying to provide a culture, an ecosystem of promoting research in the institutions, facilitating innovative minds so that it will catalyst or create an interest in you into entrepreneurial ventures to overcome the employment crisis in the future. So what is required of the young minds like you, of researchers, is to think differently. There are thousands of opportunities. What you need to do is to innovate. The statement that you need to be job creators, job providers, rather than job seekers might appear to be very trite, something which is repeated and has lost its sheen, but that is the truth. A situation should come and you should not be looking behind or looking forward for a job from somebody else, but you should be in a position to create jobs and to provide jobs for others. And entrepreneurship is the best choice. We need to identify the various opportunities which will enable you to make use of your creative ideas, innovative ideas to build a successful career so that you will have not only for yourself, be self-sufficient, but also contribute towards the economic development of our nation. Today we know that already a lot of new technological tools have come into every sphere of life. We talk about the big nomenclatures like big data analytics, robotics, Python, artificial intelligence, and so on. It has seeped into every sphere of life, be it medicine, health, agriculture, whatever it is, you find these technological tools coming in. Are you skilled? Have you updated yourself with these skills so that you can find a placement for you? So you need to reflect whether you are updated and skilled for a successful career. If not, prepare yourself for entrepreneurship. And this conference that has been organized for 2 days is to give a platform, a roof for every researcher, for every participant to voice their innovative ideas, research ideas, and for further deliberations and publication of their articles so that their innovative ideas can be disseminated to a larger public. I hope the conference will open new avenues, new perspectives to think about innovation, research, and entrepreneurship and catalyst young minds to become entrepreneurs. So once again, I congratulate and appreciate the two.
Good morning. I am happy to welcome you all to the conference organized by Department of Corporate Secretaryship, Congo Arts and Science College, and in association with the Patrician College. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed everything, our world, our life, and even our imagination also. It has permanently altered many concepts and has impacted the business across the world. Entrepreneurs have faced both the opportunities and consequences. Both the sides are available here. Entrepreneurs all over the world need new, very different action plans and strategies. Because of pandemic, entrepreneurs need new strategies to face the situation. The Vice President of US, third Vice President of US, Thomas Jefferson said, every generation needs a new revolution. The revolution now required is many innovations in business for development. That is the need of the hour. In India, AIM, Atal Innovation Mission initiative promotes the culture of innovation and entrepreneurship effectively by the PM's views. At this juncture, the Department of Corporate Secretaryship and Professional Accounting, Congo Arts and Science College, and the Department of Accounting and Finance and the Corporate Secretaryship, Patrician College of Arts and Science, set a platform for the deliberations with eminent resource persons. Thank you, Madam Sas. On behalf of Congo Arts and Science College Management, Correspondent and Principal, I take this opportunity to convey our warm greetings and felicitations to the organizers and participants. A special congratulations to Dr. K.K. Alagappan and team and head staff members of Patrician College. We, the Kongu family, extend our best wishes for the success of the International Collaborative Conference on Research, Innovation and Entrepreneurship for Sustainable Development. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have come to the most awaited session of this international conference on research, innovation, and entrepreneurship for a sustainable economic development. I invite Dr. Inez Angel, co-founder, Make Educational and Charitable Foundation, Boston, United States of America, to present the keynote and the inauguration.
Am I audible? Sathama Solalam. Am I audible? A very good morning to everybody here. First of all, I'd like to thank Patrician College of Arts and Science, Chennai, and Kongu Arts and Science College, Erode, for inviting me, also arranging this conference and doing a great job here, right? So I'd also like to thank brother as well, principal, vice principal, faculties of Konga Arts and Science College as well. So thank you so much in person, and thank you to all of y'all, the future innovators. Thank you so much. Why? Why am I thanking y'all? Maybe let's say 10 years later, I might be using something that you people innovated. நீங்க ஏதாவது கண்டுபிடிப்பீங்க, அதெல்லாம் maybe ஏதாவது யூஸ் பண்ணலாம். I might be using some apps that you develop. அன்னைக்கு என்னால உங்களை வந்து பார்க்க முடியுமா? நீங்கெல்லாம் பெரிய ஆளா இருப்பீங்க, right? So thank you in advance. You are the great minds of the future, right? So before I go into this, I just want you all to understand few things. Today you are all in college. இப்போ உங்களுக்கு இதோட அர்த்தமோ சீரியஸ்னஸோ புரியாது. Maybe research, innovation, entrepreneurship. The words look complicated for some people. It's very dictionary. இன்னைக்கு நான் எங்க ஆகணும்னு you can think. காலையில ஏங்க என்ன கூட்டு வந்து உட்கார்ந்துருக்கீங்கன்னு you can think. See, this is all today. But in the future, you will have the spark to do all this. Ana anneki we will be lacking certain things that we should have cultivated now itself. That is the skills. So to know what we want in the future, you have to sustain yourself and prepare yourself today. This is one thing. Secondly, you need to understand everything at two aspects. One is theoretical, one is practical. Okay, தியரியா ஒரு விஷயத்தை நம்ம அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணிக்கும் போது easily you can execute it. Practically you understand something, you will succeed in it. இது ரெண்டையும் collaborate பண்ணும்போது you will be outstanding. So இதை மட்டும் எப்பயுமே இந்த ரெண்டு விஷயத்தை ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. So when you step out of this college, a huge world is waiting for you. Because when I was a student like you, I went through all the same thing, okay? I didn't understand certain seriousness of certain issues. I didn't know what was happening. So I just thought we'll pass through college. But so many things are required, right? So just be ready for all that, okay? So I'm a doctor, as you all know. But today, I run my own business. I have other things as well happening. I do counsel my students. Why do I do so many things? Why do I do? Ma'am, I'm a doctor, ma'am, patient surgery பண்ணுங்க போதுமே. I earn well. போதும்ல? அப்படிதானே we all think. A job is enough, monthly salary, EMI. No, we are not going to sustain. And one such good example is COVID. When COVID happened,
Work from home came later, but do you know the process in between where people struggle to find a way to run things? COVID did teach us lessons. Restaurants were closed, shopping malls closed, cinema halls. We all know that these businesses were closed. But did we know what did they face from their side? They were not prepared. They were not sustainable. They never thought a pandemic will come and shut them down. But few businesses did sustain even during the pandemic. What were they? Grocery shops, pharmaceutical companies, hospitals. Why? Because they are blended with your day-to-day life activity. Okay, you will have health issue. It's blended with the human. So hospitals வந்து ஓடிட்டே இருந்துச்சு. நமக்கு மெடிசன்ஸ் வேணும் சர்வைவலுக்கு. Pharmacies போயிட்டே இருந்தது. டெய்லி சாப்பிட grocery வேணும். Grocery shops were open. These are the things you have to incorporate with your life when you want something to sustain. Environmental friendly இருக்கணும். உங்க day to day activityலயும் அது இருக்கணும். Apart from that, you should also make sure நீங்க எதை sustainable நினைக்கிறீங்களோ அது புவராலையும் அஃபோர்டபுளா இருக்கணும். அதாவது பிலோ த லைன் பீப்புள் நம்ம அவங்கள நிறைய நேரம் கவனிக்கிறது கிடையாது. ஏன்னா நம்ம என்ன நினைச்சுக்கிறோம்னா we are fine. But remember, when you say you are fine, you should make sure your society is fine well. Okay, so எது நடந்தாலும் இந்த below the poverty line இருக்கிறவங்கள you have to take into consideration. Next is the equality. When you want to develop something sustainable, you should keep in mind equality. It should be accessible by everyone, irrespective of race, religion, caste, or anything. Okay. Next is environment. Biodegradable solrong, eco-friendly solrong, global warming solrong. So these are few things that you have to keep in mind, right? So this is sustainable. Now I'll tell you a very thin line of connection with your today's conference topic. Research, innovation, and entrepreneurship. கண்டுபிடிங்க, ஒரு விஷயத்தை தேடுங்க, அதை பத்தி ஆராய்ச்சி பண்ணுங்க. That is research. Next is innovate. அதையே எப்படி இன்னைய ஜெனரேஷனுக்கும் அடுத்த next few years, let's say, be sustainable for the next 50 years. Please don't take a burden to sustain for, let's say, 100 years. No, do it step by step. ஒரு அடுத்த 20 years to 30 yearsக்கு innovate something. And that should be sustainable. And that's the cycle here. Research, innovate, and entrepreneurship for sustainability. So, நீங்க உருவாக்குற அந்த விஷயத்துக்கு நீங்க ஒரு entrepreneur ஆருங்க. Put it to the public, sell it, என்ன வேணாலும், right? And why is entrepreneurship very much needed? Any idea? About businesses we want to carry forward, illa we have to start a few separate business nu nariya per idea vechirukkinga. But why entrepreneurship? Nariya edathila ipo pesranga entrepreneurship பத்தி. Why? யாராவது ஒருத்தர் நல்ல லவுடா? Anybody? நானே சொல்லிடலாமா அதையும்? Yes ma'am. அப்புறம் எப்படி நம்ம ரிசர்ச் பண்றது? அப்புறம் பண்ணிக்கலாம்ல? No problem. Let's go there. So being an entrepreneur is important today. Why? The world is fighting and competing very much actively. Okay. I'm a doctor now, but I want to be sustainable. I want to meet my needs. I also want to meet the society's needs. So I need to reach out in different aspects. So what did I do? Someone gave me a knowledge. So I had people who mentored me like this. They said, why don't you start your own charitable foundation? Yes, I did. And then during pandemic, I felt a bit stressed. I wanted to learn something new. That's when I took a degree with the digital marketing. And today that's one of my businesses. So to be an entrepreneur, it's not about the money or investment, right? Be clear with that. We might have loads and loads of money, our parents might inherit. But do you have knowledge of your own? Have you got the knowledge to be an entrepreneur? Have you got experience? See, this experience word, why I'm emphasizing it, it's very important for entrepreneur. யார் வேணாலும் ரெஸ்டாரண்ட் வைக்கலாம். Okay, காசு இருந்தா you can put up a restaurant. But you need to know Chinese foodனா என்ன, Indian foodனா என்ன. Cook, you bring Chinese cook and ask him to do சாம்பார் சாதம், what will happen? கொடுத்த ரெசிபியில அப்படியே எடுத்து தான் போடுவாங்க. சாம்பார்ல டேஸ்ட் இருக்கா, பருப்பு இருக்கா, எது இருக்கா? You need to have the knowledge. Why? உங்களுக்கு knowledge இருந்தா தானே ஒரு entrepreneur நீங்க ப்ராப்பரா ஹையரிங் பண்ண முடியும். ஒரு ஃபைனான்சியல் நாலேஜ் இருந்தா தானே நீங்க ப்ராப்பரா salary கொடுக்க முடியும். ஒரு ஃபைனான்சியல் பிளானிங் நாலேஜ் இருந்தா தானே உங்க பிசினஸ் ஒரு லாஸ் இல்லாம நெக்ஸ்ட் 2 இயர்ஸ்க்கு எப்படி நடத்த முடியும். You can foresee and plan. So to be an entrepreneur, experience or knowledge. I'll put a slash here. Why? Because a lot of people come to me and say, ma'am, I'll take a risk and I'll do. It's okay. The amount that you invest in that particular entrepreneurship of yours is actually investment of your knowledge, which you're doing. Let's say I'm investing 1 lakh in a business. If it goes successfully, you have learned the concept of running it successfully. If it fails, you have learned where you have got it down, where you have made the mistakes, and the amount paid to learn this experience and knowledge is the amount that you have invested. Please take this in the entrepreneurship in a positive way. It's not a loss. Please don't say a business loss. என்னோட entrepreneurship investment is loss னு சொல்லாதீங்க. You are actually paying an amount to gain the experience there. Knowledge there. This is because you don't want to take the experience. Okay? If you are having experience now, innovated. Okay, தோசை ஒண்ணுதான், ஆனா அதோட வெரைட்டில you differ in the market. Right? You all love biryani? சிரிங்களா சந்தோஷமா? பிடிக்கும்ல? மட்டன் பிரியாணி, சிக்கன் பிரியாணி, bucket biryani, right? So I was fascinated when I was bucket la biryani saaduvangala. So that difference, biryani is a normal food, but the differences, variation, dum biryani, bucket biryani, fish. See the variation there? That is actually a small innovation that the person is doing in order to differ from others to sustain in the field. Okay? But many people forget here that the sustainability is just for a short term period. So I'll just tell you, நான் ஏன் நிறைய ஃபுட்டை பற்றி சொல்கிறேன்னு சொல்லியிருக்கேன், because we all like food, that's our day-to-day thing. So I'm keeping that as example for your understanding. One point of time, all this Chinese food were very famous. எல்லாரும் Chinese சாப்பிட்டோம். And suddenly we all shifted to shawarma. எல்லா பக்கம் பார்த்தாலும் shawarma தான். We want to eat shawarma. And then suddenly we switched to what? We became very traditional. மண் சோறுல தான் மண் சட்டியில சாப்பிடுறது, அந்த மண் பானை கடைக்கு தான் போறது. Then we shifted to beach side food. சுந்தரி அக்கா கடையில தான் சாப்பிடுவோம். இப்போ என்ன ட்ரெண்ட்? பிரியாணி, பக்கெட் பிரியாணி. Can you see the evolution here? இதுல ஏதாவது ஒரு progress அப்படியே ஒரே மாதிரி இருக்கா சொல்லுங்க? Every one of us is changing and we have some trends. இப்போ இந்த ட்ரெண்ட மீட் பண்ணி you need to sustain அப்படின்னா you need to build a plan for at least next 10 years minimum. When you're nearing the 10 year, on the 8th year, you develop a new plan. One such good example is Singapore. Why I will say? So they are 53 years old. Sorry, 53 or 56 if I'm not sure. Right? They plan everything in 40 years ahead. So when they got independence and started planning for an airport, they were not planning for one airport. Please keep in mind. They had a way advanced plan for 50 plus years. Terminal 1, Terminal 2, Terminal 3, Terminal 4, and in the next 3 years, the Terminal 5 is coming. And you know what? This is all in one stretch area itself. They are not shifting it place to place. Inga or terminal, inga or terminal. And you know what? The fifth terminal is going to be COVID friendly. So even if a pandemic comes in, that airport is still going to be operatable. They're not going to shut it down. It's going to be operatable because their model is sustainable for a pandemic. They are prepared in order for a future economic crisis as well. Why economic crisis here? Because during pandemic, we avoid people, right? So that airport is fully robotized with technology. So it's just going to be you entering the airport, taking the flight, walking out of your own, and we don't need people. See, that's all. Right, nice. So it is sustainable and the model is successful because they planned for 50 years. So I want you to take this an example and think about economical adjustments as well. Like a crisis is going to come, is your model sustainable? If a crisis is going to hit, are you able to fight economically? I will not go deeper into economical terms or all that, but I'm telling you, even if an economical crisis hits and you have to shut down your business, make sure your investment planning has at least 8 months of survival money. Okay, and you should never be touching that, right? That 8 months is an average that has been calculated by PhD doctors from Harvard and Oxford, saying if another pandemic hits or anything unexpected hits, the average time we will have to face crisis to recover, until they research for medicine, they innovate vaccines. So it's going to be 8 months. So when you plan, make sure you have your resources to sustain for at least 8 months. Right? So research and innovation, I find that everybody says, ma'am, research pandrathu vaisaidum, innovate na. See, research, everybody, you all look at the paper form, but when you have a core idea, when you have the model in your mind to develop, when you have the designs ready, it's easily put into a paper. நம்ம ரிவர்ஸ்ல பார்க்கணும், பேப்பர்ல இருந்தா தான் இன்னோவேட் ஆகும். Innovations will come to the paper. Do the reverse way. எவ்வளவு பேர் இங்க ஏதாவது புதுசா இன்னோவேட் பண்ணணும்லாம் நினைக்கிறீங்க? நான் ஆக்சுவலி ஐ saw something. நீங்களும் டயர்டா இருக்கீங்க கை தட்டுறதுக்கு. இப்படியே போச்சுன்னா someone will innovate that clapping machine. I think it's already there in some places. It came out of this only. அதாவது every action in the social society leads to an innovation. Temperature பார்க்கிறதுக்கு கோவிட்ல everybody did not want to go and do it to every single person. What happened? They brought in scanning thermometers. Right? So it is how you innovate. You see a lot of social media posts, right? நம்ம பார்ப்போம் நிறைய இந்த Chinese, Japanese, Korean people எல்லாம் ஷூ போடுறதுக்கு ஒரு குட்டி மிஷின் வச்சிருப்பாங்க வீட்டுல, இப்படி வித்தியாசமா ஒரு லைட் இருக்கும், எதோ பண்ற மாதிரி ஒரு ரோபோட் இருக்கும். That's all innovation. அவங்க செய்யணும்னு நினைக்கிற ஒரு விஷயம், பட் அவங்களால முடியல. And they innovated it. In the American universities, when you do your masters, innovation is a mandatory paper. In maximum number of management universities, you have to innovate something. So innovation, and when they speak about it, it is you go on the paper, you innovate something, calculate a budget, tell how you will promote it to your audience, how will they purchase it from you, and that is a model that comes until to the end process. It's just that it will not come into the reality, but you do every work. எல்லாமே பண்ணணும் அந்த பேப்பர்ல. So I'll tell you one thing. When I'm a doctor, I wanted to do something innovative. எனக்கு innovationsல ரொம்ப பெரிய knowledgeலாம் இல்ல, but something sparked to me. Ultrasound machines பார்த்திருப்பீங்க. It's very big, no? Ultrasound machines-லாம் நம்ம hospital நம்ம தான் அங்க போணும். So there are a lot of rural places where they don't have access to this ultrasound machines. So my innovation was that நான் medicine படிக்கும்போது there's a small probe we call. So this probe is used to hear the fetal heartbeat, the baby oda heartbeat கேட்கிறதுக்காக சின்னதா ஒரு குட்டி probe. It's carryable everywhere. So I just innovated with that idea, saying in the probe heartbeat hear பண்றதுக்கு பதிலா why don't we fix a small digital screen? and ultrasound probe, and why don't we carry it to the rural places to do ultrasound for pregnant people, any on the spot injuries? இது ஏற்கனவே இருக்கு, but it's very expensive. But how to simplify it? That is where I innovated it. I said instead of using the original permanent probe, we'll use and throw. So when you use and throw, hygienic issues are covered here. யாருக்கும் infection வராது. The cost of manufacturing this use and throw is comparatively lesser than the magnetic probe. So in that way we innovate. See, innovation na இருக்கிறத எவ்வளவு டெவலப் பண்ணி innovate பண்ணலாம். இல்ல from the scratch. But innovation இல்லனா the next 10 to 20 years we will suffer. We will suffer. Right? And also when you talk about sustainable of innovation, do not find a particular idea that is sustainable to you. Okay? Find it in a way that it is sustainable for the users. Okay? இன்னைக்கு வந்து மார்க்கெட்ல ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட் வருது and that is manufactured by certain companies and they are selling it to you. நம்ம அதுக்கு அடாப்ட் பண்ணிக்கிறோம். But create models where you adapt and the people use it. In that way you will sustain longer. You will really sustain it. So one successful model of that is Dr. Ratan Tata's. Okay, so in Maharashtra, I'm talking about, let's say 30-40 years back. So they built a plant, a steel plant. Okay, so this steel plant was built, and that time they used to give planning, budgeting, everything. So the then CEO of that plant said, I want a small pond, particularly adamant about it. And they also built the pond. And today, you know what? The pond is 15 to 20 times bigger. It holds that many gallons of water. Okay? இன்னைக்கு அந்த 15,000 மரங்கிறது, it has grown up to somewhere around 50,000 trees. And you know what they are doing with this? With the gallons and gallons of water, hydroelectricity is generated for all the nearby villages. With the amount of trees planted, the entire village, around I think 35 to 40, if I'm not wrong, they are benefiting with all the fruits and vegetables that are coming from the plants and the trees. And this is a sustainable model. That 15 lakhs he invested that day, the villages around that particular steel plant is now surviving nicely. They are not opposing the steel plant. Why? It's eco-friendly, it is feeding them, and you know what? Every fruit or vegetable that comes from that plant is affordable. Okay? So you need to also understand the difference between low cost and affordability. Okay? Affordability is something, it's available for everyone at a reasonable price. Low cost is when you choose something to go only to the people at a certain level to just satisfy them. நிறைய பேர் நினைச்சுப்பாங்க, if I fix a low cost, நிறைய பேர் வருவாங்கன்னு. In that, you all are making a mistake. You're losing your brand. You're compromising on your quality. At times, you're also putting yourself into a pressure where you can't survive as well with that amount that you receive. Because you have to keep expanding, innovating, and do a lot of research. Right? So this is one example that day with a future plan, he built that, and today it is sustainably doing well. Right? So that much of idea we should need. In innovations, I will again like to pick from Tata itself. So I'm a great fan of Tata sir. So anything that comes up from him, I go take a read. Okay? So when India only had cars from overseas, we did not have a car brand of our own. Okay? We did not have a car brand of our own. We had all the luxury overseas manufactured cars. So they came up with this ambitious idea that they wanted to have an Indian homegrown branded car. So when they wanted to do this, you think they just built a car? No. They were sure they didn't want a luxurious car because they know that in India, it will take a longer time for luxurious people to even buy it. And the number of luxurious people are less. So they know that they would not survive. Next, they analyzed the population growth of India. So they were sure by now, that at least a family will have 4 to 5 members. So they wanted a car that is spacious to have this 4 to 5 members of a normal average Indian family and a space for their things. With this model, they created Tata Indica. Okay? And they were also sure that it should be affordable. Please note the point here. It's not low cost. They wanted it to be affordable by every Indian. So they calculated average income of a household, the bank loans, how much they would get. And they came up this idea. But there was a huge glitch there. That is, to build a plant to manufacture a car in India will not be reasonable, it will be way more expensive. And even if they sell the car at 5 lakhs, they will not be able to cover that for a longer time. So after 3 months of research, they came with an innovative idea 30 to I think 20 years back itself. Sorry if I'm not good with the years, okay? There was a sick plant in Australia, car manufacturing unit. And Tata, with his team, decided they will move this entire plant to India because they can purchase it. The cost of moving it from there to here was reasonable. They decided to come by ship. And they dismantled part by part of that plant from Australia, 6 months to reach India, and they reassembled it. So that is a research involved with innovation. Innovatively, they thought, why should we build here? So why don't we lift it up from there? So lifting doesn't mean apply Hanuman thukittu pora mari illa. Okay. So a lot of things are involved. They break it, they take the machines alone separately. Also, they'll build a ground here which is going to have all that. So a lot of things are involved, but a research was required, and it was all done by people who were like you at those days, who finished college fresh. A lot of new ideas will come after college. Yeah. So because of that, today we have an Indian brand. That's what I wanted to say, which is still sustained. It will not go away. We are still modifying it. We are still making it better and better. So you need research. You need innovation. You understand why this is required, or else we all will become stagnant. We will have nothing new. We are all enjoying today with all these mobile phones and everything, apps, because somewhere someone is doing research on this and they're coming up with new innovative ideas. One such innovation is the Zoom. We had video calls, but nobody thought about having classes over Zoom, Google Meet, Zoho. They innovated it with the existing idea. We have Skype calls. Why don't we add multiple people? Why don't we give screen sharing? Why don't we also give rooms of discussion? And today it's possible. So one small idea of yours will be a game changer in the future. Nothing goes waste. My good advice to you all is stay happy, enjoy college. I don't say don't enjoy it, but find something somewhere which is going to be saying that இது வந்து பெட்ரிஷியன் காலேஜ்லேருந்து கார்த்திக்னு ஒருத்தர் கண்டுபிடிச்சது, இது கொங்கு காலேஜ்லேருந்து ஸ்வாதின்னு ஒரு பொண்ணு கண்டுபிடிச்சது, and that is the name that you leave behind. And that's going to be sustainable along with your name. நீங்களும் வாழ்ந்து கொண்டே இருப்பீங்க, உங்க ஐடியாவும் போயிட்டே இருக்கும், உங்க ரிசர்ச் இன்னும் மேல மேல டெவலப்டா இருக்கும், and everyone on this world will be benefited. Have a purpose. ஏதாவது ஒன்று இருக்கணும்ல purpose. So that is this. Right? So always தேடுங்க, நிறைய தேடுங்கன்னா உடனே போய் கூகுள்ல வாட் இஸ் த நியூ சாங், யூடியூப்ல அதையும் தேடுங்க. பட் வாட் இஸ் ஹேப்பனிங் இன் த வேர்ல்டு கொஞ்சம் தேடுங்க. ஓகே, பொலிட்டிக்கலி, ஈக்கனாமிக்கலி, சஸ்டைனபிளி, இப்போ இங்க இருந்து எனக்கு யாராவது 4 இன்னோவேட்டிவான நான் ஒரு ஐடியாஸ் பார்த்தேன், ஏதாவது சொல்லுங்களேன். ஈச் ஒன் ஆஃப் யூ. ஆனா இதே if I ask you all about a movie review or music review, everybody is answerable. Why? We take interest in that. கரெக்டா? அதை பத்தி நிறைய தேடுறோம். அது மாதிரி இதையும் கொஞ்சம் தேடி வச்சுக்கோங்க. யூ வில் எக்ஸல் வெல். ஒரு குரூப் ஆஃப் மீட்டிங்ல யாருக்கும் தெரியாத விஷயம் திடீர்னு நீங்க எங்கேயோ பார்த்தது உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கலாம். எங்கேயோ பார்த்தது உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும். when you say that you outstand from them. So have that eagerness to research, தேடுறதுக்கு அதை வந்து நீங்க யோசிச்சு பாருங்க. இதை ஒரு விஷயம் பார்க்கும்போதே தெரியும். நீங்க சொல்றீங்களா, ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் இந்த கான்ஃபரன்ஸ் முடிச்சு போகும்போது வில் சே, இல்ல நம்ம டைமிங் கொஞ்சம் குறைச்சு வச்சிருக்கலாம், அந்த ஸ்பீக்கர் பதில் இந்த ஸ்பீக்கர் வந்திருக்கலாம், இவங்க இதை பேசினா நல்லா இருக்கும். See, you are actually researching and improvising whatever that's happening to you. அந்த மாதிரி ஏதாவது உங்களுக்கு ஒரு வித்தியாசமா ஐடியா வரும். திங்க் பண்ணிட்டே இருங்க. கீப் திங்கிங் அண்ட் கீப் லேர்னிங் அண்ட் கீப் லேர்னிங். அது எதுவா வேணாலும் இருக்கட்டும். நீங்க புக்கு தான் படிக்கணும் அப்படின்னு இல்லை. ஏதோ ஒரு ஆர்ட் ஃபார்மை பத்தி பார்க்கலாம், ஏதோ ஒரு குளோபல் நியூஸை பத்தி தெரிஞ்சுக்கலாம். யூ வில் நெவர் நோ வேர் யூ வில் லேண்ட். யூ வில் நெவர் நோ. I never wanted to go to US. Honestly speaking, I never want to go to US. என் லிஸ்ட்லயே இல்லை ஆக்சுவலி சொல்லணும்னா. But I did end up there. And I like it. You never know. And when I went there, I had to compete with people above my knowledge. அப்போ நான் நிறைய தேட வேண்டியது இருந்தது. I had to spend time to match on what is their country like, என்னென்ன அங்க இருக்கு, what are they doing. So they are doing a lot of innovations and sustainability. Very eco-friendly things. Global warming, they are paying more attention. So we have this water there. So we get water from the supermarkets there. So our water cans, which are 5 liters, I can just go again and keep filling it again and again. I don't have to buy all waste. They segregate their waste to make it biodegradable. They use it as manure. நம்ம இந்தியாவில் இருக்கு குப்பை தொட்டி. பீச்ல எல்லாம் பெசன்ட் நகர்ல we have the 3 colors. But எத்தனை பேர் அந்த கலர் பார்த்து we throw it. So you take one step in doing something. Someone will take another step. So when each of you will take a step, a research that is done by someone will be effective. That research will become an innovation when you try to improvise it or find something from scratch. And you become an entrepreneur for very own innovation and research of your own. Okay? Be the bosses of your own innovation and research. Don't waste your time sitting in someone else's company helping them develop. Be your own boss. When I said this, one student asked me, எல்லாமே பாஸ் ஆயிட்டா யார் எம்ப்ளாயி ஆவாங்க? நான் இன்னைக்கு இத்தனை பேரையும் பாஸ் ஆகுங்கன்னு சொல்றேன். நிறைய பேர் will take it seriously and will become a boss. There are still going to be people who can't put up with it. But they will be very much knowledgeable in innovating and researching something. Use them. It's a mutual thing. You become a boss and get your resources right. Right? So, be your boss. Okay? So, spend your time happily. சந்தோஷமா இருங்க. The depression, anxiety, இந்த மாதிரி vocabulary wordsலயோ இல்லை யூடியூப் இன்ஸ்டாகிராம்லாம் பார்த்து don't divert yourself. நிறைய தேடுங்க. அதை ஏதாவது ஒரு ரிசர்ச் பண்ணுங்க. ஓகே, அதுல ஏதாவது உங்களுக்கு கருத்து இருக்கிறத மாத்தணும்னா இன்னோவேட் பண்ணுங்க. நாளைக்கு அதுலேயே சக்ஸஸ்ஃபுல்லாக வருங்க. And that's why I said thank you, because I'm using somewhere your product. Right? So have a great day to all of you. I would like to thank the management of Arts and Science College and Patrician College of Arts and Science. Right? I'll see you all in some part of the world when you all are very successful. Right? Congratulations and best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The motivational speech has inspired us beyond the level. Now I would like to call Dr. Muthukumara Vel, Head Department of Corporate Secretaryship, Patrician College of Arts and Science, to propose the opening address.
Good morning to one of present here. It gives immense pleasure to propose vote of thanks on behalf of organizing departments and institutions. First and foremost, I thank Almighty God for His blessings. My sincere gratitude to our Chief Guest, Dr. Ineth Endral, co-founder Make Educational Trust and Charitable Foundation, who had enlightened us on all the key aspects of the conference. Thank you, Madam, for sparing time with us and for the wonderful introduction keynotes which you had shared with us. My sincere thanks to the dignitaries of Congo Arts and Science College in Kangaville, correspondent of this motivation, Dr. Vasudevan, Dean of Academic for the felicitation, Dr. Alagappan, Head Department of Corporate Services with CA and Professional Accounting for the chief guest introduction. My special thanks to the dignitaries of Patrician College Director and Secretaries, Brother Dr. Stanless, Academic Director Dr. Fatima Vasan, Principal Dr. Usha George, Vice Principal Dr. Meena Shiftuan and Dr. Aurigamiri Geeta Das Shipitu for their constant support and guidance. My sincere thanks to Dr. Alagappan, Head Department of Corporate Services, CA and Professional Accounting, and Dr. Manjusha, Head Department of Accounting and Finance, Patrician College of all the effort taken as convener to make this program come true. My heartfelt wishes to the organizing committee of both the institutions who had worked round the clock in a systematic way to conduct this international conference. I extend my special thanks to Dr. Steve Priyam, PIAC coordinator, who had been the point of contact in making these two institutions come together for meaningful exchange of knowledge. My heartfelt thanks to all the students and faculty members from both the institutions who have joined for this knowledge enhancement program. I extend my gratitude to Mr. Jayasingh for capturing the memories and Kamal and his team for all the logistic arrangement. Once again, I thank you all for your presence and active participation. Thank you.